I'm Pratibha Agarwal. Hi, everyone. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney. I'm based here in Washington, D.C. Our clients are all over the United States. We help with all types of immigration applications. What I do here is come on live. I hope you all had a great week and that you celebrated Easter. If you celebrate, I hope you had a wonderful Easter. But it's a great time of the year for new beginnings, new things starting. If you're interested in immigration, our firm handles all types of immigration matters. I come on here live to provide information, mostly about humanitarian cases, although please feel free to ask whatever questions you might have about other case types if needed. If we have time, I will definitely get to them. But what I'm doing here is to help our friends who are undocumented, who might feel very scared under this administration. I want to be able to provide you with information that might help you, and that might help you obtain status in the United States, that might help you perhaps obtain work authorization in the United States. So I'm here as a resource for you. We're streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. For the first time, I'm streaming live on Instagram and on TikTok. So we have 4 different channels, and please feel free to put your questions into the chat. Our firm handles a number of VAWA cases. So VAWA cases are they're humanitarian options. So they are cases where our applicant, and this is for our firm, different types of VAWAs can be filed, but for our firm, we file a lot of marriage-based VAWAs, and those are cases where if you have a green card holder or U.S. citizen spouse, if you are being abused by that spouse, if you've lived with them, and it is a real marriage, it's not just for immigration purposes, it is a real marriage, you might be eligible for benefits. So most of our clients who file VAWA are also eligible for a green card along with their VAWA application. So this is why it's very important. Many people have entered illegally. Many people have come with a visa and their status has expired and they're married to a US citizen or a green card holder. They're experiencing abuse in their marriage. It is a real marriage and they've lived with this person sometime during the course of the marriage, right? So with all of this, they may be eligible for status. So if this sounds like you or someone else that you might know, please feel free to reach out to our firm. You can call us at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. We are currently doing free case evaluations, right? So free case evaluation to talk to you about VAWA, to see if you might qualify for VAWA, to go through the timelines with you, to provide more information about your specific case. So these consultations are actually free currently. They will not remain free forever. I can tell you that. They will not remain free forever. This is the first time we are doing complimentary consultations for VAWA cases. So if you or someone you know is married to a US citizen or a green card holder, if you're experiencing abuse in your marriage, you've lived with them, it's a real marriage, you might qualify for VAWA. So give us a call to schedule a completely complimentary consultation, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. So what I'm providing here is informational. Obviously, I haven't spoken to you. I don't know your specific case, and I will do my best to give you some general information. But just as a reminder, if you would like specific information, please call our firm. We do our consultations and our case evaluations by phone, in person, and by Zoom. So Zoom is the most common. It's going to be like this. I'm just going to be talking to you like this, and we will go through your specific situation. I'll ask questions about your immigration history. You don't need any documents, but we can figure out if you might be eligible for something like VAWA or perhaps another humanitarian option. Okay. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based in Washington, D.C. Our clients are all over the United States. We help with all types of immigration cases. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start off with our question of the day. This is something that we were doing before. I kind of, got very busy and I unfortunately wasn't able to come on as often as I would have liked, but let me start off with our question of the day. If you've been with me before, you know that I start off always with the question of the day. So the one for today is, what is the process for filing a VAWA self-petition, right? What is the process for filing a VAWA self-petition? So the process has recently changed. In the past, it used to be that you could apply for a VAWA, it could be approved without an interview. Now the government is changing this and has started interviewing folks on the VAWA. So let me go through the whole process as it stands currently. Of course, this can change, but as the process stands currently, you file the VAWA self-petition along with your evidence of abuse, that you are in a real marriage, and that you shared a residence with your abusive spouse. So this is what you need to submit to the government with your VAWA application. Many people also qualify for a green card, so you can submit that at the same time if you are eligible to do that. Not everyone is eligible to do that, so it's important to note. Once the application is filed, you will get receipt notices, a prima facie determination, which is basically like a pre-approval of the case. It says the government essentially reviews your application and the evidence that you submitted, and it says you have everything on its face to be approvable, but of course they're going to look into it more. They're going to run some more background checks, right, and make sure that what you're submitting is consistent with maybe what had been previously submitted by you in terms of, you know, other applications like asylum or even a marriage-based application. So they're going to do that, but the prima facie is the next step after you receive the receipt notice. You'll get biometrics completed, so you'll get fingerprinted, which should be a fairly fast appointment. There are ICE agents at some fingerprinting locations these days, so we want you to be careful about that, and we will provide advice on whether you should go, when you should go, and we can give you up-to-date information as best as we have it at that time. Most applications will require biometrics, so you will need to go at some point to complete biometrics. And then if you've applied for a green card, you'll see work authorization and travel authorization. Our recommendation for all VAWA applicants is do not travel right now, right? Do not travel internationally right now. There's also a risk of domestic travel, as we have heard that ICE agents are in airports. So we advise all our clients applying for a VAWA and a green card, do not travel domestically or internationally right now. There is a risk that you will not be able to return. And there could be also a risk of detention if you are in an airport. So keep that in mind while you're making your travel plans. I know it's hard to be separated from family, but please keep that in mind when you're making these travel plans. Okay, so you'll receive work authorization, travel authorization as well. It's good to have it. It's free, so we just apply for it. Again, do not recommend travel at this point in the journey. And then after work and travel, you might get a request for evidence. So we will submit a response to the request for evidence. The government might decide they want more evidence on one element of the case or another element of the case, or maybe even all of them. So we would want to gather additional evidence like affidavits, maybe a psychologist report, and submit that as well. And after that, you could be scheduled for an interview. So this is a significant change in the process. You could be scheduled for an interview on the VAWA and the green card, right? Or your VAWA could be approved and you're only scheduled for an interview on the green card portion. Or in some cases, for many of our clients, no interview at all. VAWA, green card is approved without interview. So it is a little bit difficult to tell which cases will be called for an interview, which cases won't, which cases will have a VAWA approved. But these are all three possibilities right now. And then hopefully if your green card is approved at interview or without, you should expect it in the mail, usually within a few weeks of the interview. Okay, so that is the whole process for VAWA. It is a long time, right? So once you file, it can take upwards of 3 to 4 years for all of this to go through. It's really important to have proper guidance with this because anything could go wrong. You want to be prepared. You want to have someone in your corner, right? Again, if you are just joining, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney. We help clients all over the United States with all types of cases. This live, I am here to provide information for our humanitarian clients, right? For people that might be eligible for humanitarian options. If you're here, you entered illegally, or you left without, or your status expired, you may be eligible. So I know it's very scary. This environment is very scary. This administration's immigration policies sound very, very scary. The way ICE is present in our cities and our towns, and where I am, of course, the National Guard is walking around. I know how scary that can feel, but you have to know that there are some humanitarian options, and that might be something you want to consider to achieve stability for yourself, to achieve stability for your family. We are doing free case evaluations for a short time on humanitarian options. So give us a call. If you think you want to find out more about which options might work for you, you can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. Put your questions into the chat. I know some folks here are putting them in right now. Thank you for doing that. Hi, Tortio, Corey. Hello, Zalani. Hi, Marcelo. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Put your questions into the chat. I will try to get to as many as I can today. And I will come on more regularly. So like our page, follow our channel so you can be notified when I'm on live. And of course, share this with others that you think would find helpful to learn about options, for undocumented folks. I know many of us have friends who are undocumented. We know people that are very stressed right now, and whatever we can do to provide information, to learn about your rights, to learn about your options, is going to be very, very helpful in this environment. So if you'd like to give us a call, you can reach us at 703-348-1663. If you want to just follow along, get some information, learn about options, figure out what's going on with immigration today, like us, follow us. Again, I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney based in Washington, D.C., and we help clients all over the United States with all types of immigration applications. All right, perfect. So I know I saw some questions on here, so let me jump into it. So let me start with this one. Tortio says, hey, great job. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate so many folks joining us here. We have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, and we have TikTok. So we have folks from all over these various platforms jumping in on questions. I'll try to keep it as organized as possible here, but feel free to put your questions into the chat and I will get to them. Okay, Tortio, you said I applied for VAWA since March 2022, but no decision yet. That is actually not that uncommon, right? So in terms of the timeline you can expect for a VAWA, you can start off with, once you apply, you should get a receipt notice. They were actually taking a really long time in some situations. They were taking upwards of even 7 months or 9 months to even just get a receipt notice on your cases. This has sped up recently. So we're getting our receipt notices approximately 1 month or so after we apply for a VAWA or VAWA and a green card. So you start off with a receipt notice. You usually get biometrics. You might have work authorization and travel authorization about 7 months after applying, if you also applied for a green card at the same time as the VAWA. And then perhaps an interview, usually about approximately 3 years after applying. So pretty soon, Tortio, you should expect an interview. If your VAWA is already approved, you're in a really good spot, right? Because your interview should focus mostly on your admissibility, on your green card application, whether you have any admissibility concerns. So that could be something like, have you ever been a communist? Are there any national security concerns? Is everything truthful? Have you ever lied before to obtain a visa? And for some of these things, there are waivers available. So these are things that should be looked at a green card interview. But for a VAWA and green card interview, the questions could center around the VAWA, and also will cover the green card portion of that as well. It could be it could be long, and it can feel very stressful, right? You're going to have to remember traumatic things. You're going to have to prepare for this interview, try to remember some dates that might be difficult to pull up several years down the road. So it's really important that you prep adequately for something like this. Okay, if you need some assistance, give us a call. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney. We help clients all over the United States. We help with all types of immigration applications, immigration cases. This live is to focus a little bit on humanitarian options for folks that might be undocumented, that might want to learn if they have options, might want to see what they might qualify for to obtain work authorization, work legally in the United States, and in some cases even travel, although I'm going to say I don't recommend that right now as well. Okay. All right. Samuel says, hi, Laura, I had 3 biometrics. Last one was only photo and signature. I have a VAWA approved. Congratulations. Is that normal? They received my medicals in September of 2025. So I have not actually heard of 3 biometrics, but if your case has been pending for a long time, I know that they want to get updated biometrics. And especially if your VAWA is approved, that is fantastic news. Congratulations. That's really, really awesome news, especially in this environment of increased scrutiny. To have a VAWA approved is amazing. So congratulations again on that. If they redid your biometrics, that actually shows that your case is progressing, right? So it shows that your case is moving forward, that they're looking at it, and they're doing your biometrics to get updated information so they can run some background checks, make sure there's no like new criminal issues or criminal citations that they need to address. If you've given your medicals, you might even expect an approval without interview, right? A lot of times you will get an interview and the instruction will be to bring your medical report to the interview. So if you've already submitted them, it looks like a very good sign, Samuel. So congratulations on that. If you have other questions, feel free to pop it in here, but it could be within the year that you receive a green card. So that's very exciting. If all goes smoothly, it seems that might occur. Again, I haven't looked at your specific case. I don't know the facts. I don't know if there are any specific concerns, but generally speaking, I would take that as a good sign for most folks, as long as there's nothing jarring or different or out of the ordinary about your immigration journey and your immigration history. If you need assistance, give us a call at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. All right. G here. Hi, G. Says, good morning. I want to know VAWA cases with pending removal still getting C9P. That's a good question. So that is basically, he's asking whether VAWA cases where someone already has, is in removal proceedings, right? If there's a VAWA case and someone's already in removal proceedings, are you still getting work authorization? So the answer, I guess, is yes. So if you apply for VAWA and you apply for adjustment of status, which is your green card application, if you apply for both, and with the adjustment of status, you can also apply for work authorization based on a pending adjustment of status application. My understanding is that USCIS is still accepting the adjustment of status application and also the application for work authorization. So USCIS is still taking both. And as long as the 485, so the adjustment of status application, is pending, they should still issue work authorization. However, I don't recommend doing this, right? I don't recommend doing this. The government knows you're in removal proceedings. If that's the case, then USCIS does not have jurisdiction over your adjustment of status application. They can't approve it and they can't deny it unless removal proceedings have been terminated. So in the past, when your VAWA was approved, you could potentially go back to the court, ask for termination of your removal case based on the approved VAWA application. Now that VAWA applications can be called for interview, right? That means you've got to go into USCIS and talk to them. They're sharing information with ICE. We don't necessarily want you to go in to talk to the officers as you might be detained at that interview. Does that make sense? So if that is happening right now, it's something to think about, because there's going to be a risk if you go in for an interview, you're in removal proceedings already, or you have a removal order that's outstanding, there is a risk that you could be detained. So that's something to keep in mind. And it's really important that you have proper legal advice if you are in that situation. So you give us a call, 703-348-1663. 1663. Again, 703-348-1663. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney. We are in Washington, D.C. We help clients all over the United States with their immigration applications. Our team has been recognized again and again. We've won awards. Clients are constantly talking to us about how we are responsive, that they can always get a hold of us, that they can ask their questions. So, this is, if you want to work with a team like that, if you want to be able to talk to a member of our legal team about your case. I know everyone is very anxious right now with all types of immigration cases. They're under increased scrutiny under this administration. Give us a call if we can help you. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal, based in Washington, D.C. We handle all types of immigration cases. All right, put your questions into the chat. I know you guys are doing a great job doing that already, and I'm happy to answer as many as I can. I know I have some already that I need to get to, so let me jump into that. One is, can I apply for VAWA if I am undocumented, right? So can I apply for VAWA if I am undocumented? So yes, a lot of humanitarian options you can benefit from if you are undocumented. So if you are qualified for VAWA, this is if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder who is abusive, you might qualify for VAWA. So you can apply for that if you're undocumented. There's no requirement that you need to be in legal status in order to apply for VAWA. Other options are like a T visa, which is for victims of trafficking. Another option is a U visa for victims of crime, and you're thinking about asylum if you're afraid to return to your home country, if you are afraid you might be killed or harmed if you return to your home country, you might qualify for asylum. Although asylum is, as I understand, is not being processed under the current administration. Our firm does not actually practice asylum cases very often, so just giving you a heads up, we focus mostly, if we can categorize you into a VAWA, a T, or a U, those move faster, right? And those, there are many benefits for those options as well, at least right now under this administration. So give us a call. Again, we're doing 100% complimentary case evaluations for humanitarian cases. So VAWAs, Ts, and Us. If you would like to schedule one, you can call us at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. We're open right now. Say hi to Jennifer if you call, and you can schedule a consultation or a free case evaluation. For all other cases, we are doing paid consultations. For family-based cases, they're $150. And they're with me. So they're with an attorney. We can review your immigration history. Everything we discuss is confidential. So feel free to give us a call, 703-348-1663. If you want to follow along, if you want to be notified when I'm on live again, so you can join. If you have friends that might be interested in joining us in this conversation, please share this post with them, like us, follow us, share this post with your friends, so they can be informed as well. Okay. All right. Another question. What if I am divorced, right? So what if I get divorced from my abusive spouse? Can I apply for VAWA? Do I have issues? Will I have problems applying for status if I'm divorced? So that is a great question. If you're divorced, you can apply for VAWA within 2 years of the divorce. So remember, this is the date of the final divorce decree. That's the date you should be looking at. And then you have 2 years from that date to apply for VAWA if you qualify. Of course, everything has to be truthful. You have to be eligible, but you can pursue VAWA as long as you're within 2 years of that divorce date. Okay. So if you would like to give us a call to see if you might be eligible, if you've experienced a recent divorce, you want to see if you're eligible for VAWA, we are running these free consultations. So free case evaluations, excuse me, we're calling them case evaluations. Call us. let our team know that you're interested in scheduling a free case evaluation. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Keep in mind, we're only doing these for a limited time, right? We're only doing these for a limited time. Take advantage of it now. It will not last forever. Okay, it will not last forever. These will turn into paid consultations very, very soon. We're doing them as a service for our community, for you to understand your options so you can decide whether it makes sense for you and your family to move forward if you are eligible. Again, you can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. Awesome Nation 962. Also approved VAWA. Congratulations. I know you guys, he says same situation, 2022 and nothing. I know it feels scary, right? I know it feels scary. You haven't heard, you just want it to be over. You want to have that green card, you want it to be over. You don't want to have to be waiting anymore. But look at the bright side here. You have an approved VAWA. That is huge, right? That means you have work authorization that you can keep renewing. It means that you will not be deported. You have an approved VAWA. If you have deferred action, you will not be deported. So keep that in mind. If you're 485, your green card application is pending. Hopefully you have work authorization and travel authorization for a bit. Yes, I understand. It's not like having a green card that would free you, right? That would let you leave and come back, travel domestically. You won't have to worry. But what the situation you're in is actually very good as well, right? Yes, we are all wanting for you to get a green card. But what I recently saw is a slow yes is better than a fast no, right? Just keep that in mind. A slow yes is better than a fast no. So you're in a good spot. You have work authorization. You have travel authorization too. I know I'm telling you not to use it right now, but you have an approved VAWA. That means you're not going to sit for a 6 to 8 hour interview being questioned about all of the facts related to your VAWA. That means you've already proven to them that you've been abused, that you've met the other requirements for VAWA. So it's actually a great spot to be in. I know it's frustrating, but just keep that in mind, right? Be grateful for where you are right now, especially in this administration. And I hope for you and pray for you that you will have your green card approval soon. Awesome says, I do not have the VAWA approval yet. Okay, that makes a bit of a difference. Yes, absolutely. Again, better a slow yes than a fast no, right? So just keep in mind, you go step by step. They ask for evidence, gather as much evidence as you can on that issue, supplement your application, right? Supplement your application with that. Get ready, know the facts that you submitted. Make sure you are aware of the facts in your application. If there's something that needs to be corrected, you can still correct it. Look for gaps, look for where they might want extra information, and give us a call if we can be helpful. 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney. We help clients all over the United States with all types of immigration cases. We come on here to provide information for our friends who are undocumented, who are feeling nervous and scared under this administration, who are looking for options. There are some that could be available to you. So I would like to provide information so you know there are some options available for you. And if you'd like to talk to us about your specific case, your eligibility, you can do so. You can give us a call at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. If you like us and follow us, you'll be notified when I am on live again. And share this with your friends, share this with other folks that might find this conversation helpful, that might have questions for me next time but aren't ready to meet formally. Absolutely, this is a great forum for that. Put your questions in. The only thing is I may not be able to get to you as quickly as possible. We have someone here. Hello, Rohit. Rohit says, best lawyer ever. Yes, fantastic. We worked together for a bit and we were very successful. And I'm so glad that you were able to put your faith and your trust in our firm. And we've been able to help so many clients who didn't think they had options. They actually didn't think they had options. We've been able to help so many clients that learned about us through something like this. So I've been on live for a few years now, and providing information. You get to know us a little bit better. You get to know sort of me and our style and how the firm works. And if you would like to schedule a consultation, I would love to meet you. We do them by phone, by Zoom, and in person. So if you would like to come to our office, meet us, I would love to meet with you. Our team is ready to complete the free case evaluations. We are very knowledgeable on many humanitarian options, including VAWA. Give us a call, 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. So what I'm going to do is quickly run through for some last questions that maybe I may have missed. And if I didn't get to your question, I apologize in advance. And feel free to follow us, like us when I'm on again. I would love to chat with you. If you want to call our firm, again, I'm saying we're doing these free case evaluations, 703-348-1663. This is for humanitarian options. So not all cases will qualify. This will be for humanitarian options, 703-348-1663. All right. Jazika is saying, my 485 approval notice has been received and it's been more than 2 months. No update about the card production. That is very interesting, Jazika. You should give them a call, right? I would call USCIS and figure out what's going on. That's unusual. 2 months after your green card approval, congratulations. That's amazing. That's amazing. But one thing to note is sometimes those case updates aren't always accurate. The ones that you see online aren't always accurate. I know you have an approval notice, which is awesome, which is fantastic. So congratulations. But call them, and maybe there was a mistake or a mix-up, and they can start producing the card. If you don't have it, you can also look for a replacement card, right? They can do a replacement card. I believe there's no additional charge for that. So take a look, see what your options are. Don't feel afraid to reach out to them, right? They're here. There's things that they're supposed to do as well, and we want them to follow through with all of the steps that USCIS is supposed to take. So card production is on them. Figure out what's going on. Call them right now and see what's going on with that card. Okay. All right, let me see what else is here. I have a master hearing next month. I have an approved VAWA and no criminal history. Can I dismiss? That is fantastic. Fantastic. Congratulations. That's something that you can certainly talk to the judge about. I would make sure you have a lawyer, right? Having lawyers in removal proceedings significantly increases your chances of success. I believe the statistic is somewhere around 80% of cases that go to immigration court with a lawyer are approved, whereas only 20% are approved without a lawyer. So your chances of success going in with a lawyer are incredibly high. You might have options even in addition to your VAWA. Maybe you have asylum that you can claim. Maybe you have cancellation of removal. There are some other options that are available to you in immigration court. So keep that in mind. You have a master hearing next month. Go with a lawyer to that master hearing. Take your approved VAWA, and it could be that even the government agrees to dismiss or agrees to terminate proceedings, right? So that is something that you can look into. Being with an approved VAWA when you're going into removal proceedings is awesome. It's actually really, really awesome. So keep that in mind. Give us a call. If you have any questions. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. We're doing free case evaluations for new humanitarian cases. So VAWAs, T visas, and U visas, right? Victims of trafficking, victims of crime, and victims of abuse by a U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse. VAWAs, T's, and U's. We are doing free case evaluations. This is for a limited time. Take advantage of it. Talk to our team. Talk about your situation and see if you can be helped. See if you can have work authorization. You might have it in as little as 7 months. So that is fantastic. That is a fantastic option to be able to work legally in the United States if you do qualify. Okay, Awesome Nation says, thank you for your answers. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, you guys. I know we're in this together. We're going to get through it, and we're going to fight, and we're going to do an amazing job and get these applications approved. If you would like to call us for a consultation to see what options you have, please feel free, 703-348-1663. My name again is Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney based in Washington, D.C. Our firm is right in downtown Washington, D.C. We help clients all over the country. Immigration is a federal practice, so we're able to help clients all over the United States. We'd love to chat with you more about your options, so feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to give us a call, 703-348-1663. And don't forget to like and follow this page if you want to see me on again live. I would love to chat with you some more, bring your questions, learn about immigration, and I will see you all very soon. Okay, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day and the rest of your week. Bye, everyone.